Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, for the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Chuck Davis.
Here.
Councilman Mike Cooley.
Here.
Councilman Corey Oxford.
Here.
Barfus.
Here.
Jerry Flutie.
Here. Everybody had a chance to look at the agenda. Any questions, concerns? Do I have a motion to accept the agenda as read?
I'll make a motion to accept the agenda as read.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, has everybody had a chance to look at last meeting's minutes from April 15th, 2026? Are there any corrections, additions that need to be made to those minutes? Do I have a motion to accept the minutes from the April 16th, 15th meeting, 2026?
I'll make the motion to accept the April 15th minutes.
Have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we'll move on to approval of the bills. We have deposits in the amount of $108,979.27. Accounts payable in the amount of $165,094.68. Transmittals in the amount of $39,281.83. And payroll in the amount of $95,403.67. Questions? Have a motion to approve and pay the bills.
I'll make the motion to approve and pay the bills.
Do you have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we'll move on to correspondence.
Nation. I got behind. For the 56th annual professional.
Give us a just, how long is it?
It's proclaiming School Clerks Treasure Weeks, May 3rd through May 9th, 2025.
Yeah, read it, please.
Whereas the Office of Professional Municipal Clerk and Treasurer, time honored and vital part of the local government, exists throughout the world, and whereas the Office of the Professional Municipal Clerk and Treasurer are the oldest among public servants, and whereas the Office of the Professional Municipal Clerk and Treasurer provides professional link between the citizens, the local governing bodies, and agencies of government at other levels, and whereas professional municipal clerks and treasurers have pledged to be ever mindful of the neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all. Whereas the professional municipal clerk and treasurer serves as information center for local government and community. Whereas professional municipal clerks and treasurer continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the office of the professional municipal clerk through participation in education programs, seminars, workshops, and the annual meetings of their state, county, and international professional organizations. Whereas it is most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishment of the office of the municipal clerk and treasurer. Now therefore be it proclaimed, I, Chuck Davis, Mayor of the Town of Fairfield, Wyoming, we hereby proclaim and recognize the week of May 3rd through May 9th, 2026 as Professional Municipal Clerks and Treasurers Week. And further extend appreciation to our professional municipal clerk and treasurer, Jennifer Anderson, Brenda Nostowski, Karina Daly, and to all the professional municipal clerks and treasurers for the vital services they perform, their exemplary dedication to the communities they represent.
Would the council please confirm my proclamation? Be a vote?
Yeah.
Would you make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve that proclamation.
Have a second?
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Any other
Any additional correspondence?
There are not.
Okay, we'll move on to items from the public, and we have Justin Horn with Carbon County 250. On up to the microphone, sir.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
All right, I'm Justin Horn, Director of the Museum, Saratoga Museum, also on the Carbon County America 250 Committee. And we are going to present all the communities in Carbon County with a 13-star Betsy Ross flag. So this is Saratoga's, and we're requesting that all the communities fly the 13-star flag on the 4th of July. And I've got a proclamation celebrating America 250, Journeys to Carbon County, whereas the year 2026 marks the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence and the founding of the United States of America. And whereas this historic milestone, known as the United States Semi-Centennial, offers an opportunity for communities across the nation to reflect on our shared heritage, honor diverse experiences, and inspire future generations. And whereas Carbon County is a place shaped by journeys of indigenous peoples who stored the land for generation, of immigrants and settlers traveling west, of railroad workers and miners who built communities, and of ranching families whose traditions endure to this day. Whereas these journeys mark the resilience, ingenuity, and cultural exchange, have created a rich heritage and identity of Carbon County's towns and landscapes. And whereas copper mining and coal mining once powered much of Carbon County's growth and prosperity, and today a new kind of energy draws people here, one rooted in adventure, recreation, and connection to the land. And whereas the theme Journeys to Carbon County invites residents and visitors alike to explore the many paths that led people here, to honor their stories of those who have called this place home, and recognize the continuing journeys that shape our future. And whereas communities of Carbon County are committed to preserving and sharing these stories through education, cultural programming, public engagement during the American 250 commemoration. Now, therefore, we, the communities of Carbon County, Wyoming, do hereby proclaim our participation in the celebration of America 250 and proudly recognize Journeys to Carbon County as the unifying theme to guide our celebrations. And we encourage all residents, schools, organizations, and visitors to take part in the activities and events that honor our collective past, celebrate our present, and inspire our shared future.
Thank you. My so proclaim, if the council will approve that.
I make a motion to approve it.
The motion on the floor to approve the Carbon 250 proclamation. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we will take care of that.
You open that flag, please.
Thank you, sir.
Some of them are open.
He wanted it open so he could take a picture for the paper.
Okay. Thank you. It's up to you guys to remember this.
It's on it.
Okay. We'll move on to, we have a special event permit from Brianna Fall.
Here tonight, what it is back in October, we passed summer farmers market for her beginning June 14th. With the weather, they want to move that up because of this coming weekend, so May 10th, they want to start the farmers market for the summer. So we just need to amend that if you guys.
Do you have a problem with that, chief?
No.
They're gonna hold it out here again,
Yes, sir.
so they'll want to block off half the road?
I believe it's gonna be the road and the parking lot again this year like we did last year.
Okay.
Everything's the same, it's just that date needs to get up on.
Council,
I don't have a problem with it.
I don't have a problem with it.
do I have a motion to go ahead and change this date from June 14th? And we'll back it up to May 10th.
I make a motion to permit it for May 10th.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
How long will it run?
What is her last day? Do you remember?
I think it's in September, I don't know.
And they quit bringing those ripe tomatoes.
Any other questions? Okay. Did you have something?
I'm Chris Shannon and I'm Cindy Bloomquist for the next thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a special event permit. That's from Chris Shannon, but it's the High Water Hoedown at 6/26, 6/6 of 26.
Yeah, I'm his partner in both the Yard, which is the entity that it's on, and the Toga Productions, which is a 501c3. And my favorite memory of High Water Hoedown was the 2010, and y'all remember that year where we literally had sandbags and a sump pump so we could be in the yard. And Gertrude Harold came over with a life jacket and her irrigation boots. So we've been doing it for a long time, and it's the same as it's always been, 200 people. Malt beverage permit. That's about it.
Okay. And
Jelon Crossland's going to play. He's our headliner, and they keep doing, I'm now 75. They keep doing bands. I cannot remember their long names, and I did not bring the list with me, but there's 2 other little bands that are good. They tell me. I haven't seen them. But Jelon Crossland is a national champion finger picker guy, and many of you have seen him many times, and he's tremendous. So.
They didn't fill out the liquor permit yet, so.
Okay, yeah, I'll tell him that. Yeah.
and you're gonna go from basically noon until 10 p.m.
The reason we put noon down is we never know where our sound guy's gonna show up.
Okay.
And so it could be at 2:00, there's a sound check. So we're just doing it so neighbors and friends don't think we're, we're not doing it we open the gates at 5, we don't start music till 6, from 6 to 10, but sound checks depends on when the acts show up. And then you gotta get them all up there, check them, do all that stuff. And so it's kind of random in the afternoon. So we, for safety's sake, put noon down.
Okay.
We don't play all day.
Planning and zoning, do you have any issues with this? Chief?
I have no issues, didn't have any problems, and last year, we didn't have any complaints at all, so.
Yes.
Well, we'll put it out for signature right now. Is the council in favor of this? So I need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, we have a motion on the table to allow the high water hoedown on June 6, 2026. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mayor, could I say one other short thing? I think everybody I've talked to that has a restaurant or selling stuff in our town is really having a hard time, especially with our lack of January and February events. And I think everything like this, we're trying to coordinate with the PVCC and other people and trying to get, like, the singer-songwriters workshop's going to come back on June 20th. It's not that many people. They just come and they're like quarterfinalists to go through the state for Wyoming. And we hope to do high water hoedown. We have struggled. 2 years ago, the Wyoming Arts Council money came to Wyoming from the Washington and the $1 million, and then it went back to Washington, and then it came back later. So we didn't even apply, and we had been giving our 501c3. You can do one grant to Whatfest till they got their 501c3. So now they have those. So this is the first year we've been able to think we might actually get money from the Wyoming Arts Council and other places. And these things are much more expensive than the 150 people you're lucky to get it for $20. But we think it's important for our town because almost half of the people that come to these concerts are from somewhere other than Saratoga. And we know when we did we had to do it for the Wyoming Visitors Council. We had to see where everybody came from, and it was all over the place. And when they know in advance it's going to be Jelon, they'll come for that, and they'll come for the hot springs, and they'll get in the hotels. And so I think it's whoever's going to show up to try to do something should be encouraged because we need people to come to Saratoga really badly. So that's all I gotta say. We're trying hard to get girls' night out, hopefully with Jerry's favorite Mandy Bolander, who has a different last name. So we're trying hard to get those people set up for this. That's always the Saturday before Labor Day.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to Antoinette. You would, please?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So everyone knows the old wooden sign down over here by the hot pool, or not by the hot pool, by the hot pool turn off there across from Aspen Sky. So that no longer standing for blew over, whatever. So Antoinette had a new sign that was gonna replace that sign. Which come in to get the permit for it, looked at the location of it, and we don't have a firm authority as to what granted it to be there. It's been there for a long time, unopposed, et cetera. So I didn't want to grant the placement of something on an inappropriate spot. So I talked to Kylie, what would make the most sense, if you guys don't have an issue with it, is just do a little legal description for where that sign is located and just lease that little chunk out. So we got a long-term approval of why it's, why it's there and what allows it to be there. So that's why I'm working with her to draft that, if you guys don't have an issue with it.
No, I don't.
Isn't it on state land?
No, it's actually, I checked with them first because it had this weird, and that's what kind of throws everything off. It had a IDOT recreation thing stamp on the side of it, some tourism or rec board thing from a long time ago. And so I sent all that info over to the guy, Michael at YDOT, and he said it's outside their right of way. So they don't care that it's there. So. Okay.
Yep.
Yep. Proceed forward, sir. Do you want to vote on that?
That's fine.
Okay. Do you have anything else?
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Okay, we'll move on to a quote. Plus electric. Jen?
We have a quote from Plus Electric to redo all the lights in here, from the fluorescent to the LEDs. Right now we have no light in the kitchen, because they've all broke, so. We've been talking about it for a long time, just replacing them. So I got a quote, you can do it for $3,800. You'd start back here and work his front, he said.
Is this all LED?
And he'd replace all of them?
Was this put out to bid or?
No,
I do know we talked to some local electrician and pretty much was told that I'll get there when I can. So these guys have done us a good job. They're the one that did the generator, correct?
Right, they actually originally did quote for this when they had done the generators since they were here and we were discussing it then. At that point, I reached out to other electricians who've never been by to check on either of the jobs.
Here's my next question. I'm sure we have money in the budget for this, 3,800. Okay, any questions?
No.
Do I have a motion to go ahead and approve Plus Electric's quote for $3,800 to replace the lights in the town hall?
I'd make a motion for Plus Electric's quote of $3,800 to replace the lights in town hall.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Put on our sunglasses. Okay,
and the next one is the candidate filing. There's 3 seats up for election this year. Candidate filing is May 14th to the 29th. Packets can be picked up here at Town Hall. I have them all together. So anybody wanting to come again or somebody can come.
there any questions on that? Okay, we'll move on to the first reading of ordinance number 890. Which will be the 26-27 budget for the town of Saratoga.
Number 890, necessary to finance the 2026-2027 fiscal budget of the town of Saratoga, Carbon County, state of Wyoming.
Does the council have any questions? Chair would entertain a motion to go ahead and pass or to approve ordinance number 890 on its first reading.
I'd make a motion to approve ordinance 890 on its first reading.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any additional discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Ordinance 890 has been approved on its first reading.
And the next one is the June 3rd council meeting. Mayor is gonna be gone. He's got a graduation to attend to, and then Councilman Cooley and myself have a convention to go to.
It's a WHAM convention, summer convention.
So we are gonna push it back one day to June 2nd.
If the council's in favor of that.
On Tuesday.
What we gotta do.
Yeah.
See why that would be a problem.
Okay, do I have a motion to go ahead and change the first meeting in June 3rd, and move it back to June 2nd at 6 o'clock?
I'd make a motion to move the council meeting for June 3rd back to the 2nd of June.
I have a second.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we'll advertise that too again. Okay, thank you. We had that meeting with the Boys and Girls Club, and they provided us with an MOU. For the attorney, she wants some questions answered before we would sign that, addresses and some other things. She called them unknown in an email. It's in your packet. And I told her that I'd bring this before the council and I will reach out to Ashley Bright and let him know what we need in the MOU, and then she'll read it over again and give her recommendation.
Okay.
Everybody agreeing with that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else for the town hall? Okay, we'll move on to the platform.
Mr. Mayor, Council. My first item tonight is the second reading of ordinance 891. Ordinance 891 is an ordinance creating chapter 10.29 of off-road vehicles in Saratoga Municipal Code, allowing the operation of off-road vehicles within the town limits of Saratoga.
Are there any questions on it? This is the second reading?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Question from the public. Do I have a motion to go ahead, move forward with the second reading approval of ordinance number 891, the off-road vehicles?
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 891 on the second reading.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There been anybody come in and pick it up or?
Since we first published it, there was a few that came in.
I've talked to a few and they like what we've done, so. Okay, Don?
And to go along with that, I have also made up some
full of pamphlets that I'll present to you all before the next council meeting to go along with the final reading that we put out that'll have information to go along, just to put around town and post places.
Explain pretty much how the ordinance works.
Yeah, it tells you what you have to do, what you can, what you can't do. Has the map attached to it that's the primary routes and first.
The preferred route that we'd like them to
Yeah.
take, correct?
It has the preferred route and then labeling everything else secondary and then what's not authorized at ORV trail at all. Which is First Street. It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
That's the only red one.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. All right, next thing on my agenda item is the Axon contract consolidation. Right now we currently have 2 or 3 contracts going. I know at least 2 for sure. One looks like it was a one-time purchase in there that's going to be coming up on this next bill. We also have a problem where our tasers, our X7s, are out of contract period and they've been replaced by X10s, as those were now 6 years old going into this budget year. So what I was working with my salesman basically from Axon was a new contract for those and then looping everything into just one contract so we don't have to keep combining bills every year. It's just one bill. This contract is a big, scary number, but it is over 10 years. The salesman put together you'll see in the packet, there's a set of this little slideshow he had put together on reasons he thought for highlights for the council members to look at. I wrote down my own benefits of doing it this way. Currently, our contracts come to this year is going to be $31,184.98. And then forward after this year is $27,739.98 until 2029. That is just for our current equipment, doesn't include bringing in new tasers with the new equipment. And I'm also looking at adding 2 fixed post Axon license plate reader cameras for coming into town. And I've looked at Axon for these. There's 2 main companies out there doing it, Axon and Flock. There's a big issue with Flock. I'm sure everyone's heard news reports and everything about things going on with Flock license plate cameras. Biggest issue with theirs is with Flock, you don't own the data, Flock does. And that's where they've been releasing it to some federal agencies and having problems other places. Axon doesn't get to see our data. It only comes into our database. That right now, actually, for going back and searching things, I'm the only one that has access to. And with Axon systems, you have to put in why you're searching anything anytime you go into search, and all that is logged and tracked. We have been demoing the license plate reader cameras for the last couple of months as a part of our fleet dash cams. And they've actually come in pretty handy. We had a case we were working that I manually put in a flag for this license plate so we could track when the subject is in town. It's a failure to register case for a sex offender that was frequenting here in the hot pools and was not putting it as a location on his sex offender registration to where he was coming here enough that he should have. And so we were able to track him several times in town using the license plate cameras. We also got the other day a hit out of Colorado. The registered owner had warrants. Officer Lear contacted the subject and found that, yes, he did have 3 warrants out of Colorado. Unfortunately, Colorado hadn't cleared him out of NCIC. He got released that morning on those warrants, so he was arrested and sued, but it did its job and he was located and found off of that hit. So what the new contract would do, our contracts have been 5-year contracts, which puts them all ending in 2029. This new contract would replace everything. It'd be covering all the equipment until 2035. And with this, we'd be getting our 7 body cameras that we have now. But then there is, during the course of the contract, we'd actually get new body cameras in July of 26, another set of new body cameras in December of 28, more body cameras again in June of 31, then again in December of 33, and June of 36. So our body cameras would get upgraded for, well, we get the same thing we have, and then 4 new upgrades over the course of 10 years. Our dash cam systems
would get upgraded 2 times over the course of 10 years, which is all included in this price, to their whatever the latest, greatest technology is at the time. With adding the tasers, we'd get 7 Taser 10s with holsters, which also they now include a virtual reality headset, taser, and pistol for doing use of force training using virtual reality, which is basically the same sort of training they do at the academy. But this is something we'd be able to do here in-house and more frequently. It comes with the training targets and a suit, so people can wear a suit and get shot with taser without actually getting electrocuted for training.
There's the fun in
And
that.
I'll have enough cartridges. If anybody wants to get shot, they can also on the council. You'll have to sign a waiver. And then you don't look excited about that, Mayor.
No.
And then our tasers would get replaced in at the five-year mark in 2031. We'd get whatever's the new taser then would be included in this price. We wouldn't have to pay for them again in 5 years to buy new tasers. The outpost cameras, which are the license plate reader cameras I was talking about, actually get replaced 2 times over the 10 years. And then the equipment is ours to keep on those. And we just have to pay licensing if we wanted to add more cameras around town in 5 years and then 10 years. And then we could keep running license plate reader cameras other places if we're really liking the technology and more is going on with it at that point. So this would give us a fixed annual price with Taser every year for the next 10 years, taking care of all of our upgrades. And that would take our Taser contract annual price to $38,277.62, which is a $7,092.64 increase. And the increase on that for this year is already would be covered by what I have budgeted. I have talked to the treasurer and we'd actually start splitting that between the licensing and the hardware to come out of our IT costs for the police department and our capital equipment for the police department.
And there isn't any other fees as far as like software upgrades or any of that kind of stuff?
That's all.
Care all that?
That's all in there. Yep. We wouldn't have to pay for anything else unless we like hire more officers and have to add more licenses or body cameras along the way. That'd be the only kinds of things we'd have to change if we add more full-time people. Right now, we're set up for, we'll have 7, so we can have 7 people out working at a time.
Okay. How long is this quote good for?
This initial one would be actually approving it by the 15th of this month, so we can get a ship date for the July. Wednesday after that. That's actually next Friday, is the 15th. And if you want to think about it till the next council meeting, the quote itself is good till the 31st. It would just change our shipping date on getting the equipment.
I would like to think about it and discuss it amongst ourselves and at least until the next meeting.
Sounds good.
Maybe
Yeah, we don't have
ask-
to rush. We can
Maybe
wait.
ask more questions of you
Okay,
by then.
sounds good.
Uh,
Yeah, I spent a good part of the day going through our old contracts and current contracts and just trying to figure out where
Is
we're at.
this the actual contract?
This is the quote that would be the actual contract, yes.
Okay.
And it has the dates of when everything would ship out in it, which, of course, we change it, it'll push everything back 15 days basically, which is no major change. But it has all the years when we get our refreshes and upgrades and everything like that's included in there.
Yes. So let's table it until the next meeting.
Yes, I'd like,
Everybody in favor with that? Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Otherwise, had my first Saratoga Days planning day with that committee, getting ready for the 4th of July. We had a busy week last week. We're actually had 106 law calls just last week, so a couple of arrests, and it was a busy week around here. Other than that, everything's going good. Just been working on everything for the budget and
Okay,
prepared for after that's done.
any questions for John? Okay, thank you, sir. We'll move on to the fire department. I talked with one of the officers today. They have not much to report. They have no calls. They did send 2 people to the Cody Fire School. And they're just making plans and gearing up for the wildfire season. So that's all I have there. We'll move on to Recreation Department.
Evening, gentlemen. I guess the first thing I have is a couple, or I guess 3 new hires potentially. The first one I have is for open gym supervisor. It is Grayson Goodman. Be part-time, starting out rate of $15 per hour.
15.
And these 2, at least the 2 open gym supervisors will be replacing kids that are going off to college. They'll be
Right. Okay. Are both your open gym supervisors coming in at the same rate?
yes, that's what they all start out at.
Okay. So we have Karsten Ho.
Correct.
Okay. And when will they start?
Probably sometime around the 1st of June.
Okay.
Get them some time to get trained with the ones going out off to college. Get them familiar with that.
How many will that leave you?
So for the summer, that'll leave me with 4, because I have Sammy Anderson will go to the pool, David Sharp will go to the pool. And so with these 2 hired, that'll leave me with 4 or 5, but I think works maybe once a month.
Okay. Do I have a motion to hire Grayson Goodman and Karsten Ho for open gym supervisors at $15 an hour?
I'd make the motion to hire him at $15 an hour.
I have a second.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Okay, my next one is for a Penelope Anderson. She will be a pool cashier for the. It again will be part-time, and that starting rate, I believe, is $13.
Any questions?
No.
Do I have a motion to go ahead and hire Penelope Anderson for pool cashier at how much?
$13 an hour.
At $13 per hour?
I'd make a motion to hire Penelope Anderson at $13 an hour.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Okay, and then next item is PVCC room gym membership packet 2026 facility overview. I don't know if you guys had a lot of time to look at it. Compared to our current rates, it can be looked at as a little abrasive. But the rec commission and myself have worked on it for the last 8 months, I would say. And we can't find any, I can't find anything in my history of when the last time these rates were increased. We have compared them to places like Aggs, Rollins within Carbon County. Outside of Carbon County, it's kind of hard to find something with our population that offers what we offer. But we decided our last rec board meeting that they think that this is fair, and I completely think this is fair, especially with all the improvements that we're making continuously at the rec center. I did think this would be a huge benefit for our facility.
Question for the rec board chairman. Yes. How'd the board feel about this?
Love it.
Yeah.
It's fair. Increase needs to happen, has to happen. We offer great facilities and great opportunities. The classes are doing fantastic. I think it's a reflection of the quality that we're offering,
Okay,
so.
thank you.
I'm getting up to the times, honestly.
Yeah.
Sorry to put you on the spot, but thank you.
So there is also a resolution that comes along,
When would these go into effect, Carter?
July 1, so when our fiscal year starts.
I've looked at them. I talked to Carter a little bit about them. It's the first night. I think the council's seen them. Do you guys want to look at them and we can table this until the next meeting, give you time to look at it, or we can pass it tonight? I have no issues with rate increase.
I have no issues with it. I just soon pass it tonight.
I've been on a little good discussion, so. Kind of knew where this was going.
Yeah. I think it is.
It's a motion.
I'd make a motion for the new membership rates for 2026 at the rec department.
Okay, I have a motion on the table to approve the new rates for recreation facility. And there's too many to go through, but I have a second for that motion.
I'll second it.
Any more discussion? Open to the public. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Be sure and get this posted around where people,
Yeah, we'll send out notice we'll hang it there,
especially to all the
100%.
past members.
Outside of that, we're super busy. I mean, pool season's on us. We installed our zip line today.
Oh, did you get it?
Yeah, a couple of our interns have volunteered to give it the first go at it tomorrow. So we're gonna let them.
How warm's the pool?
73 degrees because of our new cover.
How warm is it?
73 degrees.
And on the small pump. Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. Pool service.
So the cover's working.
Yeah.
Good.
It is, yeah, I think we're gonna be, by the time we open, I would imagine it's gonna be.
It was 73 degrees today.
Today.
And with it being as cold as it was last night, that's impressive.
That's awesome.
With the wind.
Mhm.
We had
Really good.
We'll be heater off for what, 4 days and it only dropped 4 or 5 degrees.
Yeah, well, and so we took one of the sections of the cover off for probably 6 hours yesterday and it barely moved. So, yeah, it's great.
Good.
Awesome.
That was a good investment then.
I think it was huge. Because I know this time, I couldn't tell you what the temperature was last year, but it was not this. Yeah, it was
River.
Yeah.
Got to keep it cleaner too.
You know, it is, or when we're learning a lot about it, I think it's saving us a lot of money chemical wise. Because usually last year when we didn't have a cover, we were adding chlorine to it every 2 to 3 days. So far, we've added chlorine to it twice and there's been water in the pool for over a month. So I think it's,
You're probably keeping the sunlight off of it.
yeah.
That's good.
And the wind.
Good. Love it when an investment pays off.
Yeah.
I'm sure the water aerobics ladies will love it too.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, any questions for Carter? Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, sir. Okay, we'll move on to Department of Public Works.
Okay, this first item of business, number 24, this ordinance 889, this, we can do this variance ordinance under this, or we can wait and do it under planning and zoning. It makes no difference to me. You guys want to do,
And do it right now.
okay. Just as a reminder, we rewrote this to just give a better description of the purpose and intent and allow the planning commission members in the future and the ones now to kind of have a better idea when they evaluate applications. There are a lot of maze and recommendation type language in it that does allow us the latitude to make sure we can still do the right thing if necessary, but it eliminates a lot of the language that I allude to, I'm allowed what I want. This is kind of our primary goal is to clarify the purpose a little bit more and give a better criteria for evaluating them.
Okay. You wanna read ordinance number 889 by title then?
You can, yeah. I can, pardon me, guys. Sorry, I didn't realize I was gonna do that.
Anybody have a joke?
You know I do, but I don't.
We don't have a copy. We're waiting on a copy.
You don't have.
Would love to read it, man.
Well, it's good to know that when she's back.
Yep.
Serious you got. There you go.
Off of my head, Carter.
There's gotta be a dad joke in there somewhere.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a good dad one. Then I will read that. I would love to read it. Town of Saratoga ordinance number 889, an ordinance amending Title 18, Chapter 18.72 of the Saratoga Municipal Code to establish clear variant standards, application procedures, and criteria for approval, to provide guidance to applicants and the planning commission, and to provide an effective date.
Questions? Chair would entertain a motion to approve ordinance 889 on its second reading.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 889 on second reading.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
The changing.
So the whole process that like we went through last time where everybody, all the commissioners looking at the current ordinance and going, we had any idea what to do with it. When we got an application, like, do we approve it? Do we not approve it? What does this mean? What does that mean? So that's what we did, is just added more clarifying language so people.
It was tough to understand. They had a list of stuff that would automatically disqualify it, and I mean, it didn't make a lot of sense. It was difficult to understand. It was.
So what exactly did we change it to then?
You have a copy of it, or you had a
I
copy.
just got it like an hour ago, so,
No, you had it last meeting.
no.
So there's examples of like the criteria in there of like, just like say somebody comes in and they just want an extra 2 feet just because, and it's not a hardship, like things like that, like to just give you an idea of what things that might be approved and that might not be approved. Clarified the purpose and the intent a little bit more.
So is it only hardship now?
It's always only supposed to have been hardship.
Yeah, when I read the definition of it with the state, I don't read it that way. As only hardship. Hardship's one of them, but it reads to where you don't have to meet all the criteria. Hardship's just one of them. And there are others.
It's supposed to be a hardship. You're not supposed to have one unless you have a hardship. That's the ultimate criteria. If there's no hardship, there's no even, you can't even move forward. Right?
And
So
with the,
what's the definition of a hardship then?
It's pretty limited. Look at the variance. Like, so for example, say there's a gal that owns a house in town. She gets in a fire, it burns down, and somebody comes in and says, hey, you got to put your house back because it was more than a 50% improvement.
Yeah.
Back to the setbacks. Like, that's a hardship. No, that lady should be able to put her house back where it was.
Yeah. But that's a hardship, but half this town is non-compliant in like all the residentials clear down this street on River Street are non-compliant.
And if it's another hardship, if it's adding an addition or anything, or a variance, or they want to do something different with it, I had to get a variance to do what I was doing because it wasn't zoned correctly. It's zoned retail business and it's housing from the fire department all the way down, so it would limit that, doing it only hardship.
Yeah,
Yeah. It would limit what you could do with any of them houses. It would make where you couldn't put an addition even on them. Cause you can't add to them.
well, you're not supposed to anyway. You're not supposed to expand any non-conforming use at all anyway.
Correct. The way it all reads out.
Yeah,
So you limit everything you can do with that stuff.
yeah, you do. And that's the purpose and intent, that everybody's on the same playing field, that everybody's limited under that now.
Yeah, everybody's limited under just that rule.
Yes, that way, and that's my opinion. Then Jerry, I'm just gonna say, that's my opinion of the interpretation, and that's why there's four of you. We're gonna disagree all day long. You're never gonna
Correct.
convince me. I'm never gonna convince you.
Correct.
So let's not waste another 15 minutes arguing about it. And if you don't want to pass it, just vote no, because we don't agree on it. We just don't.
Yeah.
And I'm fine
It
with,
seems like it gets discussed very thoroughly.
no, and we can discuss it more, but what I'm saying is my opinion is if there is no hardship, and telling somebody no on a deck is not a hardship, telling somebody that you can't have 10 extra feet instead of 10 is not, maybe they need to sell that property. That's, to me, is totally different. It's not a hardship. You feel it differently.
Yeah.
I agree. It's not a hardship. And we get people that come in and want to build a deck and build it on the property line. And you can't. Because.
Well, I realize you can't build on a property line, but if now any of them houses, if you want to put an addition on them, say you want to add a bedroom, they're screwed. And they shouldn't be because that really shouldn't be zoned retail business.
Then we need to rezone it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it needs
that's
to be
what needs
rezoned.
to happen.
That's all we're trying
We
to,
had this discussion before
Yeah.
with Bridge Street
right, it's,
and spot zoning that one lot.
right, and we didn't do that. And we're trying to get, using these processes for what they're intended for. And this is part of that. And what we did too is we rewrote that entire accessory build ordinance. And along with that, on the setbacks for houses that were built prior to zoning, we added where you get a 20% relief. And I've had people come in here and want a foot or 2 feet, and their house was built in 1960 and they get that 1 or 2 feet because of that we added in there. So, but everybody in that situation gets that 1 or 2 feet if they have that older house.
Yeah.
But before, when you did a building permit, and Emory is where it is, and so am I, that if somebody didn't like because, and it didn't matter what zone it was in,
Mhm.
oh no, I want to build clear out here, you can't, the ordinance does not allow that. Well, I'm gonna get a variance, and they'd apply for a variance.
And then they would get it. And then the next person comes in and says, oh, well, I can't do that. And then they just move their house.
So gets a variance, so.
But it doesn't matter whether it's in the building envelope. If the setbacks even are correct, because that's out of compliance, you can't add an addition.
That is correct. You cannot add on to.
Because you're pinning that down to just a hardship.
Yeah. Well, you should, it probably should.
If you read the whole state statute, it doesn't read as just a hardship. The way I read it anyway, the way I understand it.
State statute.
It's a common, these are taken off of how they're written nationally. They're all, you gotta have hardship and then you have to meet criteria that basically shows that you're a one-off.
But isn't that what a variance is for? Is to look at it case by case?
That's what it's, yes, exactly. And if you have a true hardship, you'll make it through this just fine.
And you can, just because we tell them no, they can apply for a variance still, even under.
And it's not shutting it down.
Yeah, they can apply for a variance. It's just that it's not basically just because they disagree with you, they're applying for a variance.
Yeah.
You know, I don't understand it. I understand what you're saying
Yeah.
because it will affect some people in town. But the proper way to. do that
Probably
is to
30% of this town is what it'll affect.
And that's what we're trying to get everybody in line,
Yeah,
because there is so much non-conforming.
there is.
That's what we're trying to bring into
Yeah, these are long-term changes. Like, this isn't gonna, we're not gonna implement this and then it's gonna change things overnight. We'll see the fruit of the changes and stuff 10, 15 years down the road. Like, we're not gonna undo the whole process of how things have been done in a day.
And what we did in the Title 17 with the changes in there, it makes it easier too, and more explanatory, and they can build without applying for a variance just because they disagree with us.
And that was a lot of the variances with like accessory buildings and things like
Yeah.
that. I know that is way more available now than it used to be.
I think eventually, I think there may be a variance coming before us, before long.
I think it's needed, needs clarification.
So do I.
Any more discussion? Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Right, we didn't get a second. We had the first from Councilman Oxford, and we didn't get a second yet.
That we did have a second. Do I have a second on this motion?
I'll second.
Now we'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Okay, moving on. On the property purchase update over there, on McGuire's, I did get the report back for the phase one, and I'll get that over to you. It is long. It's like 40 pages. A lot of it's standard language that's in all of them. We didn't see anything in there that's like daunting, but it was enough that they said, hey, it's the phase two. So we're going to, they're developing a scope, working with DEQ on that. And hopefully we'll have that approved here probably early next week, and they can get going on that. And that'll do some soil sampling, probably a little bit of drilling, and they'll cover the cost of that, DEQ will. So as soon as we get that scope finalized, I'll get that to you, and then I'll get the report, the phase one report to you. Also, there just wasn't probably enough in there. I mean, we don't have to do the phase two, but there isn't enough in there to say, no, we shouldn't. There wasn't environmental engineers were like, no, don't worry about it. There was enough in there to lead us on to step two. So get that over to you guys here momentarily. You hear any questions about that process?
Yeah.
Okay. If we look through your packet, I think Jen printed you guys out one of the land valuations we got from Town and Country on those city parcels. Were you guys able to have time to review those? Besides the ones that are in the packet today, did you guys get those? So what we need to decide moving forward is if we want to list all of them, which ones we would do separately, which ones we would do together. And then also, I think it's pertinent that we decide some kind of percentage reserve before they even get listed, so we don't find in the conundrum of, well, we accepted an offer from Joe that was 30% less than the market price, but we wouldn't accept Billy's offer for 5% less. So I think, if we're willing to, these aren't set prices, but they're definitely something we need to consider. I think we need to make a reserve no less than 20% of what we got evaluated, something like that, just so we have a hard and fast line when we do take in proposals that it doesn't look like we're picking and choosing who's getting property. And when I look through them, I think there's pieces that make sense to sell separately, and then and I can run through those real quick. But we start at the beginning. You're on page 77 of your packet. Veterans Avenue, right here. That's the kind of L-shaped jog down there off of Myrtle that runs all the way down through there. That is a contiguous single parcel. If we would list that, we would just advertise it together as one chunk. And then moving on to the Crawford Edition lots, 13 and 14. These are both buildable lots. They are congruent to each other. They have utilities adjacent to them. Viable building candidates. I would propose we list those separately. And if somebody is interested in getting both of them, they can try to buy both of them. Same thing on the next page for Crawford addition lots. The reason I did them separately is ones are corner lots and the other ones are interior lots.
And I would recommend by lot.
Yeah, on these Crawford addition lots, 13, 14, and 7 and 8, we would always sell those separately.
So there's only 2 lots in Blackford.
No, there's more than that. That's just what we had. There's several there. We actually have all but I think 2 lots on that whole block.
Right.
But if we start with this and then we see how it goes, we already know what we need, what the other ones are worth. That's why we did corner lots and that's why we did interior
I
lots.
see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if we get to page 80, the SRE and One West Edition lots, these are actually, that is a misnomer. These are retail business lots up there off of Bridge Street in between 9th and 8th. And they are in between McGuire's and Horse property. And I would suggest we sell those separately. They've got utilities to all of them.
This is in between Corey's and Bennett's.
Yeah,
It's retail business, correct?
right. Yep. Okay, the Riverside Edition on the following page, that's located off of River Street. Over there above Randy Stevens' place, next to the shop for the Conservation District. Those are really small lots, so even though they're listed lots 21, 22, 23, and 24, they're extremely narrow, so that for that type of a use, the whole property probably is marketable as a whole and not separately.
And this is retail business.
That one is highway business.
Pardon?
That one is
Highway business.
Riverside Edition.
Okay.
And then Valley View over here, that's a kind of a leftover piece from a sale a long time ago. And then there's a couple of small lots right there down off of Third Street and Walnut. You would need to extend a main line to that to get a water service in there. I would think that's just one parcel. They're not really useful separately. That's why they're listed so low.
How far would water and sewer have to be extended to those?
And then this is the bigger chunk Rocky Mountain is staged on right now. It does need a sewer line ran through it, the alley, to be able to service sewer to those lots. I think it is going to be difficult to sell those separately because it's a lot for one property owner to extend the main just for themselves. But I think if somebody has an opportunity to buy the whole block and capitalize on that, that's our opportunity to sell that property.
So how's it zoned?
It's retail business along Bridge Street and then along Spring Avenue, which is the south side of the property. It's zone it's RD 7200. You build houses on one side of it and then retail business on the other side. And that chunk's also big enough somebody could approach us with a PUD too. That's
With a what?
planned urban development, mixed use type deal.
When will the bids open on these, Emery?
That's totally up to us. So we could say we would probably do all the advertising ourselves, just to save on commission. And we could start, say 1st of June, advertising for 60 days, open them in first part of August. From there.
Okay.
What would you suggest on coming within 20% of this?
That's up to you guys. Just a figure,
Yeah.
to hard line a reserve for everything that we list.
Minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Primarily, one, we don't want to undersell, our town property, and 2, we need to have a bottom line. So somebody's not
I
getting,
think they'd go better bid or better if we just put them on the market.
we've got to, by state statute, we've got to receive proposals for them.
Yeah.
Any property over $500, we got to advertise in.
20%'s a pretty big cut.
We go 10. I put 7.75. It doesn't matter to me. I just, because they're gonna come in, people are gonna see the opportunity and they're gonna come in lower than what they're listed at is my pretty firm belief. So I just want that bottom dollar figure in there so we don't get in this, why is so-and-so gonna get a 9% discount? So-and-so ends up with 12.5.
So this is what you're recommended is the first go around of sales, to see how it goes. Oh.
No.
Council?
On this west side block where it's got two different zonings on that 2 acre parcel, would it sell better if it was already zoned one, or do you want to leave it split like that?
I think we just leave it split for now and then see how it goes. I think that's where the PUD comes in. Somebody buys the whole thing, you know, and that's one reason I'm glad we didn't run the sewer line through there. Because if somebody's a PUD, it might behoove it to go to be ran around.
Part of the messed up part of Bridge Street,
Yeah.
One of.
you know. One, and then down below Corey, but there's houses all mingled all the way through that.
Well, and that's why I was wondering if that needed to be cleaned up prior to.
So,
Because honestly, Bridge Street is one of those that really needs to be cleaned up because it is a main thoroughfare through there and people are buying those lots and stuff.
well,
You know, so we don't run into the situation that we ran into a year ago where a guy bought one little piece of ground and wanted to spot zone it. People were upset
Right.
because that couldn't happen.
Yeah, and I think if this block sells and kind of establishes that utility congruency with that parcel further to the west of it, that's gonna make things probably start happening there. I think that's kind of held that up.
I agree. Something about it too is it is good business. For a good business to be in that area.
It is in that area, but as you come this way, go east on Bridge Street from there's a lot of houses that aren't compliant.
Those
with the correct
non-conforming ones we just talked
Yeah.
about.
And that's on the planning commissions, one of their 3 goals was to look at the,
On the radar.
for 2026.
So this is one of these lots is where you guys are staging right now, correct?
Yeah, that's this west side, this block
Pretty
37,
much.
And that's what zone
this split, the half and half,
residential business, the other part of it zone.
residential, yep.
I'm in favor of moving forward.
Yes, I am too.
Getting it in order and
Yeah,
maybe you're thinking the 1st of June to go out to advertisement? That would give us plenty of time to get it all set up and,
yeah.
I'm open for quote or price. You know, if you want to do a 10%, 20%, 5%.
8.
I think you start low and then if it's not selling, then you can expand that if you need to.
So
But I don't think you need to, start with huge concessions right off the bat, because if we make that known, if you put that number at 20%, well, what are all your offers gonna come in at? They know that 20% is already there.
I mean, it maybe let's just start at 7.5, 8. 8 going once.
It sounds good to me.
it's up to the council. I'll take a motion anyway that we move forward with this at whatever percent.
With the reserve of whatever percent you guys.
I'd make that motion to move ahead at 8% and reserve.
Move ahead
price.
selling it with an 8%.
Reserve.
I'll second it.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
That's exciting.
Okay, and we can, I guess the last meeting in May, we can make the final touches on this vote if we need to vote on something else.
One comment that I would make is on when you advertise these, you might advertise where the water, where the utility are at. With the advertisement on each piece, that way people kind of have an idea of what they're looking at expense wise to if they have to expand or if the utilities are already there.
And most of them, they're pretty close. They're,
Except for that one, you gotta run a block.
yeah, but that's it. I mean, even with the sewer extension, you got a manhole there right now that you can hook up and blow and go. Limited asphalt to go through. Biggest thing with the mains too is you got engineering costs because you got to get it designed and you got to get a permit from the state and you got to be stamped to get a permit. And that goes up.
All things that I would have taken more into consideration when I bought my piece of ground had I known all these things.
Hindsight is 2020.
Yeah. Well, you just don't know what you don't know.
Okay.
Okay, moving on to 27. The gentleman who sent me the quote for the planer, she sent two sizes. I'm not interested in the 40-inch one. Pricing two, it'll be a little bit wider than what we need most of the time. The lead time is pretty long, so I wanted to get this coming before paving season starts. It probably won't be here till beginning of July anyway, even if we order it here in the next week or so. These are significantly cheaper in price than the ones from CAT. So, and it's applicable with our machine and it'll work well. It's got the horsepower to, we've got the horsepower to run it, is what I was saying.
What page is quote on?
84.
Oh,
There was a couple other brands that were right around there. But I never been around anything made by those companies, so I don't know anything about them.
This is an attachment for the skid steer.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a cold planer. That way we can mill off, like we want to go do a patch. We can just take the top 2 inches off and we don't have to tear the whole road out. Or if we have a bump when we're paving or something, and we can go fill it out.
they used over here, Lewis,
Yeah.
or not Lewis,
And you can use what you take out.
Yeah, you can recycle it. And
what,
Rotomill.
was that about a 30-incher they had over here?
I think theirs is 24 Rocky Mountains,
Okay. Worked well.
Which one are you wanting?
the 30.
The 30?
Yeah. The 40 is just probably going to be wider than what we need. You know, if we need to go 40 inches, just run 2 passes with those.
As much money as we're saving by doing a lot of these projects ourselves,
Uh,
I think it's a pretty good investment.
It's after I seen this one work over here, what we need.
Yeah, well, just being able to go mill in a square edge if you're tying into something too. My crew was not happy with me a couple times last year on how we accomplished that, so.
You have the money?
Yeah. And we did put some in next year in case that the invoice rolls over.
I will take a motion to go ahead and purchase this,
The 30-inch.
the 30-inch mill. It looks like $25,500.
I'd make a motion to buy the 30-inch planer at 25.5.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Awesome, gentlemen. Quick little update, Never Forget Park, the plan is to start digging the foundation for the bathroom next week. Curb and gutter first week in June, still on for that. And then as soon as we get that done, the sprinkler guy can get in. We're taking submittals and everything for all their products and stuff they're installing for the bathroom, doors, sinks, all that jazz. And then same thing with sprinkler, landscape guy sent in his submittal for his layout for his sprinkler. So we're reviewing that and making sure we've got everything covered he's supposed to. But working with, we got 3 different contractors on that. Everybody's been fine to work with so far. Everybody's communicating well. We don't have a problem getting hold of anybody. The Elm Street project over here, I just kind of wanted to explain where we were at and then why we dug a hole here and then we moved down to the other end of the road. So this, and you guys are probably more aware than I am, this site over here next to Conoco was a resolved contaminated tank site. And we assumed we were going to get into, something that was a little dirty. It was really, really dirty. So we had to pause and time out and send in some water samples and stuff to make sure that we were in compliance with our discharge permit. And then we're switching out. Plastic has, there's a lot of literature to support that plastic pipe can, or hydrocarbons can get through it, right? If it really sits over a long period of time. So we are going to switch the ductile with nitrile gaskets going there along the gas station. And so we did have to make that change too. But that's kind of the main reason we just pulled out of there. We'll start digging bore pits next week, and then the bore guys will be there Friday, and we're going pretty good.
That other pipe you're gonna use along there, how much more was it?
It goes, so right now, 8-inch PVC pipe, C900 is $20 a foot, and that stuff's about 53.
About double.
Yeah. And then we got to add a little more cathodic protection and stuff like that. And then your nitrile gaskets are a little bit more, but I mean, that's when we talk to DEQ.
No, let's do it right. We're gonna do it.
Well, it could be one of those things where you really wouldn't know, or if it was happening, it was getting through your water for probably a long time. But when we took the water samples out of there, though, they were not terrible. I mean, there was stuff in there, in the groundwater a little bit, but it wasn't not crazy.
And where was the underground tank at?
I could tell you, I know they got inspection wells right there next to the, in Elm for checking.
Dug up a long time ago when it was Phillips 66.
Yeah, it was resolved on DEQ's last site like 2006. So I mean, they've had good passable groundwater samples for quite a while over there. We just, as bad as it stunk and everything, I just didn't want to. It's better be safe.
Well, you're already there now.
Yeah, you can take
Better safe than sorry on that.
So that's where we're at on that project. As soon as the weather warms up, we get a good hot spell, they'll get all the road repair started on that West Bench project. We've just been getting a couple nice days, and then it rains or it snows, and we've been pouring head walls and little small stuff. And then when asphalt weather rolls in, they'll get that taken care of. On the mosquito front, as we come up on that season, start getting foggers scheduled and get the plane lined out. We did get our 2 grants for that we applied for. Carbon County Weed and Pest for chemicals. We did get 30,000 from them, and then the Emergency Insect Management Grant, we get 16,700 from them. So we got about 47 grand to go towards the mosquito program this year.
That's good.
They've been a great partners. They're actually what allows us to do what we do at such a low cost. Do you guys got any planning or public works questions?
I do not.
Okay.
Any questions for Emery?
No.
Planning and Zoning Commission, that was the variance ordinance was the thing I primarily had on there. Then we've got a little subdivision aggregation of lots, a couple of lots that you guys will see that here at the next meeting. I would imagine just a couple people bought a lot together and they want to take that lot and put it into their lots. That's real wild. And then Water and Sewer Joint Powers Board haven't had a meeting since. We got one next week.
Any questions? Thank you, Emery.
Thank you.
Thanks, Emery.
Thanks, Emery.
Okay, we'll move on to the Recreation Commission. And I'll let you go first.
I didn't make the meeting the other night, so I have nothing to report. Sounds like Carter covered pretty much everything they talked about in the meeting.
Where
The
did
next
you-
meeting is the 1st of June. She disappeared.
Must have knew I was gonna call upon her. Anyway, I do know, it's my understanding, the board's short 2 people. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And we have 2 letters of interest. If you would, please.
Dear Mayor Davis and town council members, I am ready to express my strong interest in serving on the Town of Saratoga Recreation Commission. As a longtime Saratoga resident and emergency response coordinator for Carbon County Public Health, I'm passionate about community wellness and recreational opportunities for all ages. I regularly use the community center and swimming pool with my family and have seen the positive impact these facilities have on the town. My background in public health has strengthened my commitment to promoting healthy, active lifestyles, and I would welcome the chance to contribute my energy and ideas to help expand programs and keep our recreation facilities strong. I am available to attend all meetings and am committed to supporting the great work of the Recreation Department. Thank you for considering my application. I look forward to the opportunity to serve. Sincerely, Emily Colunzi. And then To whom it may concern, I am writing to express my enthusiastic interest in joining the board of the Saratoga Recreation Commission. With over 10 years of experience in strategic leadership and deep passion for community service, I am excited about the opportunity to contribute to your impactful mission. In my role as a Saratoga Lions Club President, 2021, and current chairman of the Junior Golf Committee, my leadership has driven significant growth in youth sports participation and contributed to several community-oriented initiatives. These experiences have honed my skills in financial oversight, strategic planning, and team management, which I believe will be valuable asset on your board. I am impressed by the Recreation Commission's goal of continually expanding access to indoor and outdoor recreational programs, aligning with my values and experience in community outreach. I also admire Carter Edwards' dedication to service, and I would love to explore how my strategic input and leadership skills could contribute to your team's success. Enclosed is my resume detailing professional employment history in Saratoga. I am eager to discuss how my skills align with the board's needs. Please contact me or email me to arrange a meeting. Thank you for considering my application. I look forward to connecting soon. Best regards, Tim Designer.
And you also spoke with Megan earlier.
I did speak with her earlier and she recommended both of them.
I've read both of them. I would like to go ahead and appoint them both tonight. But
Yeah.
Need a motion?
I'd make a motion to appoint both of these applicants to the Rec Commission board.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Reach out to them then. Thank you. And let them know their next meeting's not until June once. Oh, you guys had your, okay. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Move on to the Saratoga Airport Advisory Board. They, in their last meeting, they passed. We never saw the quote until later, Karina and I, but anyway, they were going after a quote to do some construction up there, basically curb and gutter, a sidewalk, the rest of the way down the parking lot to the south of their building. And the quote come in at $38,182. And so that's what I need the council to act on first, because we approved their quote. I'll list it out here to. So.
And they've got that in their budget?
Huh?
They've got that all in their budget?
They do. Rena and I already double checked that. It's something they've been talking about. We got a breakdown of one of these little sheets, what everything costs on our Town of Saratoga Small Project Equipment bid form.
What's that number on the mobilization fee? Is that $10,560?
$10,500. Like 60.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Same as on this, but that's mobilization. I'm gonna talk to them more. They need to break that out a little bit more. So. But mobilization, excavation, removal and prep.
Also, it's not just mobilization.
No, no.
I was gonna say, that's awful expensive to haul a piece of equipment in this town. Little piece of equipment at that.
But their quote come in from Wyoming Log and Timber. It said, so the chair take a motion to go ahead and approve this quote of $38,182.50.
I would make the motion to approve the quote from Wyoming Log and Timber for $38,182.50.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
Is he gonna break this down more? Is that, did you say that you talked to him about breaking it down more?
No, not yet.
Okay.
So I have a motion and a second on the table. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Along that same line, we got an invoice from Wyoming Log and Timber for some of the work done. And they got gravel and road base, and the mobilization equipment, they're forming now, I see. And $14,540. And like I said, they do have it in their budget. Do I have a motion to go ahead and pay this invoice of $14,540 for the airport?
I would make the motion to pay this curb and gutter invoice for $14,540. Airport.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any more discussion?
Is the work complete?
No.
We're paying for?
No, there's, what we're paying for is gone, but they're forming now. They're gonna pour the concrete and everything.
As long as that part's done.
Yeah, just partial.
Okay.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hey. Change order? No, I'm not gonna address it just yet. I wanna talk to Blake about it first. Because I had a change order of $1,230. And I'm not for sure exactly what he's talking about. So that is something I'll report back. And it'll come in on the end anyway. Any questions? Any more questions? Hey, do I have a motion to go into executive session?
I'd make a motion to go into executive session.
Wyoming statute 16-4-405A, 2 little i's and 3 little i's. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Emery, would you join? Take them, girl. Gotta wait for Gary and this. These old men that can't hold it.
Dude, as soon as you went in there, that's where I got to go.
You can fill this out for me.
Side to side. I was gonna ask him if he washed his hands.
I don't care. I don't plan on holding hands with him. Not me.
I have a motion to end this executive session.
I'd make the motion to end the executive session.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Do I have a motion to call this meeting back to order?
I'd make a motion to call this meeting back to order.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting back to order. Is there any further business to be brought before this town council? Do I have a motion for adjournment?
I'd make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Or do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.